This is Timmy, and this is Tammy. Both are saving for retirement and have the exact same habits when it comes to investing. The only difference is one person puts their money away in a Roth IRA, while the other puts their money into a regular brokerage account. So which person do you think will have more money by the time they retire?
Survey said
Whoever invested in the Roth IRA. That's right, Timmy and Tammy don't really matter. The point I was trying to make was Roth IRAs have certain benefits that normal brokerage accounts don't. And so if you're planning on retirement and trying to maximize your savings, then make sure to stick around because in this video, I'm going to try to convince you to open up your very own Roth IRA today. But before we do that, it's probably helpful to discuss what a Roth IRA even is. So I'll start the video off by introducing the Roth IRA and going over some of the benefits of this type of account. And then I have a scenario we can jump into
For all you finance nerds out there.
and we can dive into Microsoft Excel and I can show you some concrete numbers as to how much money you could potentially save by utilizing a Roth IRA instead of a traditional brokerage account. And then hopefully by the end of this video, I would have convinced you to open up your very own Roth IRA. And then at the end, I can share with you some resources that I found helpful. Let's get it. So a Roth IRA is an individual retirement account that the government offers to allow people special tax saving advantages when it comes to saving for retirement. With this type of account, you are paying taxes on the money that you deposit now rather than later in life when you withdraw that money during retirement.
So why does this matter?
Well, for starters, we have no idea what the tax laws will be in the future. I mean, my retirement date is around 2058, so who knows how high the tax rates might be by then? So since I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, the one thing that I may have a little more control over is my income levels in the future. And to give an example, I currently fall in the 12% tax bracket based on my taxable income levels as a 30-year-old. And I would like to think that somewhere in my future, I will eventually fall into the 22% tax bracket. I mean, don't get me wrong, hitting the 37% tax bracket would be nice, but let's be honest, my YouTube channel is not that popular. But seriously, seeing how I'm in a lower tax bracket now, I would rather pay taxes on the money that I contribute towards retirement now rather than later on in life when I plan on being taxed at a higher rate. And so that's why I plan on using this Roth IRA to save for retirement. So since we're paying taxes on the money that we deposit into our Roth IRA now rather than in the future, that means there's going to be two major advantages with opening this type of account. The first is going to be that you do not have to pay any taxes on any appreciation of your account. Meaning that as you continue to add money to this account and it grows over time, you will not have to pay taxes on this growth. And this might not be the best analogy, but think about how a freezer works within a refrigerator. The freezer would be your Roth IRA, and then inside would be your different types of investments. And then bacteria would represent the government trying to collect taxes from you. So the idea is the freezer is trying to preserve your food for as long as possible. So later on in the future, you can eat your frozen dinners without getting sick from the food spoiling. It's not the best analogy, but don't worry. I'll open up Microsoft Excel in a few minutes and show you how powerful a Roth IRA can be when it comes to saving money on your taxes. And so similar to not paying taxes on the growth of your account, the second benefit for having a Roth IRA is you will not have to pay taxes on your contributions when you withdraw them during retirement. Think of your contributions as the money that you originally put into your Roth IRA, whereas the appreciation of this account would be considered your profit. And in both cases, you will not be taxed on your contributions or your profits during retirement. as you have already paid taxes up front with your Roth IRA. And when we talk about contributions, the great thing about a Roth IRA is we can withdraw any money we've contributed to this account at any time in our life, both tax-free and penalty-free. And the caveat to that is when it comes to your earnings or profit, there are two benchmarks that you must meet when it comes to withdrawing your earnings. You must be at least 59 and a half years old and have had the account opened for at least 5 tax years. And if you want more information on this, I found a really simplified chart on Investopedia.com, which provides a pretty easy way to understand all the rules when it comes to withdrawing your earnings from your Roth IRA. And I can leave that linked down in the description box below if you guys are interested. Just remember, we could probably talk about Roth IRAs for hours. There's a lot of information about these accounts that I did not get time to discuss in this video. So make sure you do your own research, and remember that I'm not a CPA or a financial advisor. Just a random dude living in my parents' basement trying to convince you to open up a Roth IRA today. And so to help convince you guys, let me show you a scenario in Microsoft Excel. Alright, so everyone remembers Timmy and Tammy from the intro of this video. Let's say that Timmy invests in a normal taxable savings account, such as a brokerage account like Robinhood, and then Tammy invests her money into a Roth IRA. And the question is, who is going to have more money in their account by the time they retire? Well, before I show you this fancy graph, let me show you a scenario in Microsoft Excel. And if we look at the bottom here, let's assume that Timmy and Tammy are both 30 years old, and the earliest you can withdraw your earnings from your Roth IRA is at 59 and a half years old. So let's assume they're both not going to touch that money until they're 60 years old. So that means their money will continue to compound over 30 periods. And let's assume that Timmy and Tammy both invest in the same securities and are able to get an average annual return of about 7% each year. And let's assume in the beginning of each year, they both contribute the maximum allowable amount for Roth IRAs, which is $6,000 per year. And finally, let's assume that Timmy and Tammy both fall into the same tax bracket and pay 12% for federal income taxes. Well, since Tammy has a Roth IRA, she is not taxed on the amount that her money grew by, meaning that her money grew by the entire 7% average growth rate each year. On the other hand, Timmy, who invested in a taxable savings account, is going to have to pay taxes on whatever amount his account grew by. Meaning that after a 30-year time period, Tammy's retirement account will be worth about $606,000, and Timmy's retirement account will only be worth about $518,000. That means that Timmy missed out on about $88,000 by not investing in a Roth IRA. And we can see that amount highlighted in green in the chart on the screen. Now, of course, the exercise we just went over was pretty generic, and I definitely could have gone into more detail about the tax side of things. But the point here was just to show you how powerful the tax savings of a Roth IRA can be when it comes to saving for retirement. And so hopefully by now, I've convinced you to open up your very own Roth IRA. If you're curious as to how to open up this type of account, then you can start by visiting your bank's website to fill out an application. And if your bank doesn't offer Roth IRAs, then you can always set up an account through a brokerage firm. I set up mine through Charles Schwab, and the application only took about 5 minutes to set up, and it was a pretty straightforward process. And so that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you guys learned something new today.
And as always,
Stay frugal, fam.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button that's right above me. And then check out my other videos, which I'll have listed on this side of your screen. We'll see you next time, Frugal Fam.